Hello my friends, welcome back to my 4-Star Academy YouTube channel, and this is the Flutter tutorial series for the beginners. And in this lesson we were going to talk about the list view. And as you can see from today's agenda, I have listed out the topic I'm going to cover in this video. So if you haven't subscribe to my channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button and open the notification so you won't miss out the future tutorial for the Flutter. Okay, without further ado, let's get started. Let's go back to our Visual Studio Code, and here you can see I have my Android emulators open and it already connected with my Visual Studio Code. The basic structure is we have this material app wrapped in our root widget, because we may use any like a built-in component in this Flutter SDK, such as like this container widget, text widget, and also the disk widget is built in this material dot, right? So we place this scaffold because if you didn't place the scaffold, the whole screen will be black. So we place this scaffold widget, which will render this whiteboard, and also it also occupies this entire screen, right? And inside this scaffold, we have like a app bar attribute, floating button, button navigation. We have already took this in my previous lesson, so you feel free to check my previous lesson to recap your knowledge. And here in the body attribute of the scaffold, I just pass this container, right? So as I mentioned in the last video, if we didn't give the container its height and weight, by default it will occupy this entire screen, right? Let me fill out some colors in this container so you can see where is this container. So when I save this code, you will see the whole screen will be turned into blue. Okay, so and there is another widget I want to talk about is the save area, because you can see the container default will occupy this whole screen, right? So if we wrap this container with saved area widget, and we save, you'll see this container now only occupy below this head bar. Okay, we go back to our mind map. So here I will quickly define the list view and code along with you, so you know how to declare a list view in your own. So in container it has a child widget, and child widget we can declare a list view. By moving our mouse in this list view, we can see it actually predefined lots of different attributes we can use. So the most important attribute we were going to fill out is this children attribute. So inside this children, I simply just define some container and also give it this color, so you can see where is the container. Just using this amber 700, and also I will specify it is height, and probably 50 is enough. So when I save, you'll see I have this one, the container, first container showing here. Maybe it's too small. Yeah, and we just simply copy and copy paste and create 3, but we give it different color, like 500 and 100 for the third one. So you see we have a list view showing here, and by default the list view have the scroll direction as you can see here, by default it will be vertical, because when you move your mouse, you're in this list view and you're trying to find it is a scroll direction. You will see the default, it will give you access a vertical direction. So if you're in this vertical direction and you specify this container, you didn't specify its weight. You see, it by default it will occupy parent's entire weight if you are like a vertical scroll direction. All right, let's try if we want to put our, you see, this one didn't cause any effect on this list view, right? Even I just changing to some random number, right? So it doesn't affect anything. So we can just simply remove the weight attribute if we have the vertical scroll direction. And so we can also change this direction to horizontal. So when you move mouse, you see I need to pass this axis class, and we can pass horizontal. And but remember, if you are using horizontal list view, you need to specify the weight of this container and know the height. So you save it. You'll see now our list view is the horizontal, and you see you will default occupy the entire height of the parents widget. So let's comment out this one, and we change back to the orange one. And maybe it's too small, so you cannot see the scroll effect. So let me change it to a little bit larger. So the container now is a little bit larger. So when you move your mouse, you can actually scroll this list view. You see, you can actually scroll this list view. And also it have a attribute like physics, so you can set the physics to never scrolled. So if you set this one, so now your list view cannot be scrolled, right? So when you move your mouse, you already fix it, so I cannot scroll this list view anymore. So let me comment out this one. Now it will turn back to normal again. I can scroll in now. Okay, so next I will talk about this padding. So list view also have this padding attribute. So you don't need to wrap into the container and give the padding inside this container. So we can just write the padding inside this list view. As you remember, so we were using the edge inset class, and we got like 8 for the top, bottom, right, and left. You're using this alt, right? You see here is maybe I can give you a more padding. So you'll now see this padding. Top is 16 and left, right also 16. And the bottom is also 16. Okay, so move to next. Here is a reverse attribute, and in reverse attribute, we can actually reverse its child. So we have a reverse attribute, and we set into true. So by default, when you move your mouse, the default value will be set to false. So I set back to true, and I save the code. You see, now our list view is reversed. The color is reversed, right? The light one would be on the top, and the dark one is on the bottom. Okay, let's comment out this back to the normal one. Next one is this shrink wrapped attribute. And so in this one, let me make those containers smaller. and we're trying to apply this shinked of wrapped effect. So when set to true, when I save, you will see it only took the space it needed, right? And as I find, here is a much more clear explanation. So using usually a list view, I try to fill all the available space given by the parent elements, even when a list item will require less space. So with shrink the wrapped set to true, you can change this behavior so that the list view only occupies the space it needs. Okay, then we finish this part. Next, I'm going to talk about how you can run the dynamic data into the screen using this ListView builder. So let's back to Visual Studio Code. So suppose here is a scenario. You need to have like a 100 container, right? You don't want to copy this container and paste over 100 times, right? So you want to do something like it can render it dynamically for you. So here I can define this color code and just random it dynamically. So I need to change this view into this. I would like to use it is name constructor. By using the name constructor in this list view, I need to probably delete all of those. So first I need to delete all of those, and so move the mouse here. I need to pass the first is the item builder, right? Item builder. This is the required attribute. So in this item builder, there need to have pass the first one is the build context. I need to the first one is a build context, and I can just specify the second one will be the index, and in here I can just return container. So we will probably do the CMeter and give it height like 100. And also I have a color attribute, so colors, and I can amber, and but here I will just pass the color code, and also it is indexed in this way, right? Index in this way. So, and also I need to give it is item count will be this one dot length. Yeah, when I save it, so you'll see it's still the same, right? So for example, I can create 200, 200, and 300, 400, right? 400, 500, and 600. When I save it, you can see the container have more color than before, right? As we define in this list of color codes. Sometimes we may need something divider to separate those list view, right? How can we achieve this? So back to our agenda, you see we have another name constructor. So we simply will use this one and in this one it have another attribute called separator builder. So we can actually build another widget between those list items. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code, and we going to change these to separator. And inside this separator, we have the separator builder, and separator builder would also require the same parameter. This is the same, and inside we just return the divider. Right? So when I save, you'll probably see, yeah. Now, so each item, list item view have the divider, right? Next, I'm going to talk about this ListTile widget, as you can see from this diagram. So ListTile widget have this leading attribute, which you can put your logo or image, and your customer, and as well as your custom widget. And then you have this title attribute, and you also have this subtitle attribute, and also this trading attribute. Let's back to our Visual Studio Code again, and you can see I have this list data file, and it contains some mock data. So we were going to use those to create this ListTile widget. Okay, we're still using the code we have now, so we just change this to ListTile widget. So inside ListTile widget, we need to delete those two. And inside ListTile widget, when you move your mouse, you see they have a lot of attributes. So first we can use this leading attribute. So leading, when you move your mouse, it accepts this widget, right? So we can use image.access, right? Because this one is a network address, right? So we want to display the image from network. We need to use image.network. Sorry, actually it's this one. And we pass the first we need to import this data from. We give this indexed, and also we're trying to access its URL attribute. So we need to import this. After we import this data file, is the compiler still give the error says the nullable string cannot convert to the string type, right? But we know our this data file have this URL string, and it cannot be null. So we can use this exclamation point to tell the compile those value wouldn't be null, right? So this error will be gone, and we can also do it for the title. So you move with your mouse, you see it also accept the widget, so we can just use the text widget, and also use data from API, and we give it still index, and here would be title, right? Still make it now. And then we'll also have the subtitle. Still the same. Move your mouse, you see it also accept the widget, so we can use the text widget. Just change these to subtitle. Before you saving these, don't forget to check again for those attributes if we match. URL, yeah, URL is matched. Test, oh, you see I have a typo, this should be a test, right? And subtitle, yeah, we have subtitle also. And see this code, also this one, now we're using the data from the API, or not using these color codes, right? So I need to paste it. We need to change this one. Maybe I comment this out, would be much easy to check the error. Okay, I think it's pretty good now. So we save it. Oh, you see, we have those ListTile, but I think the color would be hard to see. Let's remove the color from this container, and we save it. You see now we have this tail showing here, right? So this tail also have a lot of additional attribute. So I highly recommend you go back to the official documentation. So I think it's this one. I will put the link below so you can see. You can also do the same example showing here, and you can just to get more understanding and how to use it. And also feel free to check the documentation for the ListView as well. Okay, that's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will keep uploading the latest Flutter tutorial. See you next time.